This is Dennis McMahon, and welcome to Positively Vermont. And today we are going to speak with the founders of the Stowe Tango Music Festival, which is one of the most outstanding premier tango music festivals in the United States. And our very good friends, Hector Del Curto, the artistic director, founder, and bandionist, and Jisoo Oak, the executive director, founder, and a cellist. We're going to be speaking about the upcoming Stowe Tango Music Festival coming up on August the 12th in beautiful downtown Stowe. Welcome, Hector, and welcome, Jisoo.
Thank you, Dennis, for having us here.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves, each one of you, and your history with the tango and tango music.
Well, I'm a tango musician since I was born. I come from a family of 4 generations of bandoneon players. My great-grandfather, my grandfather, not my father, and now me. We are bandoneon players, this weird instrument that was invented in Germany, and somehow it got all the way to Argentina. And I grew up in Argentina, and I came to the United States with a show called Forever Tango, and that's how everything started in the United States. And we will tell you a little bit more later about how we got to Stowe, Vermont, and why we have this festival in Stowe, Vermont.
That's great. Jisoo.
I'm Jisoo, and I'm a cellist, and I'm married to a bandoneon player, tango musician. But I got into tango because I danced a little bit during while I was at Juilliard. So it was my way of getting out from classical music and have an outlet to release stress, pretty much. Yeah.
That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about the history of tango, the elements of the music, and what components of it, and particularly some of the instruments.
Mm-hmm. So tango began more than 100 years ago, and it started with the immigration that came to Argentina from many different places, but mainly from Europe, and started in these houses that had a long aisle and many rooms where these immigrants will live. They came to Argentina looking for work and for a better life, and they didn't bring their families until they were settled there. And so in these rooms you had people from Germany, from France, from Italy, from all over the place, that they didn't speak the same language. But some of them brought their instruments with them, and that's a universal language of music. They got together and they played music, and from those rhythms that they brought from their home countries, they created this new music called tango. And it's also, tango is a dance that you dance with the partner, and we say that it's a way of walking with your partner.
That's great. That's fantastic. And what are the musical elements of it besides the bandoneon?
Tango started without bandoneon. Tango started with flute, violin, and guitar. And later on, the piano was included, and the bandoneon came much later. And it was brought, some people said that there was an Italian guy, some other theories from other countries, but it made it into tango very slowly because nobody wanted this instrument. It was a weird instrument at that time. And once it made it into the orchestra, the ensemble, it became the voice of this music from Argentina, tango.
That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about the Argentine Tango Society and also how the festival got started. You're in your 6th year now, and tell us a little bit how that got put together.
So I've been in the United States for more than 20 years, and I heard many people playing, mainly classical musicians, trying to play tango. And coming from listening to tango as a way of living in Argentina, for me it was very hard to hear tango without the soul of the music. So I said, well, we have to do something. And then the chairman of the Argentine Tango Society, we were having coffee, and he said, let's make Stowe the capital of tango. I said, well, if you want to do that, we will do it. So I brought my wife into this project, and now she handles all the operations of the festival. But the reason why we are in Stowe is mainly because I've been coming here since 2001. And in 2005, we came invited by the Argentine Tango Society with an orchestra. It was like 12 musicians. And among those musicians, there was a cellist, which at the time had nothing to do with me and didn't want to have anything to do with me. But Stowe has magic, and that magic happened, and now we have an 11-year-old son.
He's very talented.
He's very talented. He's a crazy dude, as I call him.
And he's a clarinetist, right?
He's a clarinetist, and he's a musician that he was born in Brooklyn. So Jesus from Seoul, Korea. I'm from Argentina, and we got together in Brooklyn to bring our son to the world, and therefore he has different cultures. He has the classical side from Jisoo, he has the tango side from me, and he has jazz from being born in New York.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn too, though I didn't
really?
know that.
Yeah.
That's really
Great.
funny. That's really something.
I would like to introduce Alex Royman. He's from San Francisco, and he's one of the finalists of the Che Bandoneon competition for the Stowe Tango Music Festival. And he's going to play. What are you going to play?
I'm going to play a piece called El Marne, composed by Eduardo Robles and arranged by Leopoldo Federico.
Enjoy.
But there's a lot going to be happening now. It's going to start on August 15th, which is a few days from now. Could you run us through some of the festival events so we can get people involved?
So I told you that the operations are run by Jisoo, so she knows the dates and the times.
Well, our first event is on Thursday, the 15th, and it's at 7:30. It's called Tango Jam. So what we do is the musicians and any local musicians who wants to come, we invite them and we make tango music together. And of course the dancers dance to that music. And it's a free event, open to anybody.
Did you say it's at Town and Country?
Yeah, it's Town and Country in Stowe, Vermont.
That's great.
Yeah. So we start with inviting everybody. And then, but our main event is our festival concert, and that's on Saturday, 17th. And this year we have two events, two performances, because past 2 years we've been sold out. So we added a 4 p.m. concert that will be exciting. So we have two chances to make great music.
That's great.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that the name of the concert that will be happening at 4 p.m. and at 8 p.m. at Spruce Peak is called Intimate Encounter. And tango is already an intimate dance. Two people get together in an embrace and dance. But this has even more to do with the fact that musicians from all over the world come to meet tango musicians. We bring the maestros from Argentina, and they have a one-to-one experience on stage and on the rehearsal rooms with these maestros who wrote the history of tango with their talents, their artistry.
Tell us about some of these. I understand you're having guest tango legends of Argentina. Tell us about those musicians.
Well, this year we are going to have an amazing virtuoso of the bandoneon. He was my teacher. His name is Nestor Marconi, and he has toured the world with Marta Argerich, with Yo-Yo Ma, with many, many different projects. And he is one of the very few main teachers of my generation and beyond. And last year we had another one of my teachers. And so as I said before, these are the people who made the history of tango. We also have Umberto Ridolfi, who is an amazing violin player. And we have Pablo Estigarribia. It's a young pianist, but that has a lot of experience working with the maestros in Argentina, and he became an arranger and a composer. And it's one of the most amazing pianists that tango has these days.
Yeah, and great thing is that he right now is teaching the pianists. We have the piano workshop, which is new this year, because tango pianists piano basically is the glue of tango. So very important to make sure we get them really good.
That's amazing. Now tell us about the workshops. They're going on right now, I understand. And tell us what people are going to be involved in. They're already signed up, I take it. And just tell us a lot about the workshops and who is involved with that.
Well, the workshops are held in Stowe, Vermont. We have 2 places that we have the workshops. And the first week we have the bandoneon players and we have the piano players. So right now they are working separately. The bandoneon players are working with me and the piano players with Pablo Estigarribia. And I will tell you something that is very interesting, because these people come from, you will see, we brought some of these musicians. This happened to be 2 finalists of the Che Bandoneon competition that will happen the last Sunday of the festival, and one is a winner of the competition. So they got to Stowe from Finland, from Japan, with all the time change and everything. 50 minutes later, the practice rooms were filled up with them practicing. Wow. So these people don't sleep. So it's a very, we call it intensive workshops, but it's not because we make it intensive, but because they want to make it intensive. They are very much into tango music and playing the instrument.
Well, how many musicians are participating in those workshops?
We have about 30 musicians every year, and that's in space limit and management limit. And so normally we have 30 musicians. And I have the pleasure now to introduce, he was the winner of the 2018 Che Bandoneon competition from the Stowe Tango Music Festival. This is Sami Pirtilahti from Finland, and he will perform a piece by Aníbal Troilo called Che Bandoneon.
Now, some of the other aspects, you're having a talk at the library, and you're having also a tango trail.
Trail,
Tell
yes.
us a little bit about that, those two events.
So this year, since we have the two concerts on Saturday, we moved the Tango Trail events, which is the talk and the showcase concert, to Friday, late afternoon. So the talk happens at 4 p.m. in the Stowe Free Library, and that's when we bring the maestros and have a conversation with the attendees and audience. People enjoy that very much.
It's a very, very fun conversation because it's informal, and people, first we introduce the maestro and we tell them, they will tell the audience about their careers, how they started, and what drove them into playing music and all those details. But then people start asking questions, and they can come up with any questions. And we always have this myth of the rivalry between dancers and musicians.
I know.
So, yeah.
I noticed there seems to be more dancing this year than in prior events. Is that the case?
Well, dancing is something that it's continuously growing because these are the people that are the audience. We also bring more dance instructors so they can accommodate more people. And it's as people get to know more. There are many tango dancers in the US and all over the world. In every corner of the world, there is a place to dance tango. So slowly people start to know that this is the place that they want to be in August. And so the audience always grows.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the Milonga. That's sort of a dance jam session, sort of a fun event always. Tell us about that, the Festival Milonga.
Yeah, the Festival Milonga is where people come to dance socially. So one of the reasons why we have the dance is because, as I said before, tango was born as a dance and the music. And we want to bring the musicians that experience of performing for the dancers and the experience of the dancers being able to listen to the musicians. So we have traditional tango, that is the music that people like to dance, and that will happen at the Milonga. And then we have the festival concert where we push the limits to tango a little bit, and these dancers have to sit down. So we have seat belts. No, we don't, but it's very tough for a dancer to sit down and listen. So this is an opportunity to get more into what all the details that this music brings to them that they will not be able to hear if they don't stop moving for a second.
Having dance workshops as well, in addition to the workshops for musicians.
Yes.
So people can actually learn how to dance.
Yes. You can tell him about.
Yeah, so we have on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have workshops in the morning for the dancers. So we are bringing 3 couples, the amazing dancers. And our star dancers are Selena and Hugo Patin. And Hugo was in Forever Tango.
Yes, she was one of the
Right?
stars of Forever Tango.
Yeah, so they will give, those 3 couples are giving workshops in the morning. And yeah, we actually sold out the festival pass for all the workshops. So unfortunately, you will have to get one next year.
That's great. And tell us about the Che Bandoneon International Competition. That's going to be a major part of this.
Yes. So one of the main things in the United States, you have a lot of string players and amazing string players. But bandoneon is always difficult to find, bandoneon players. So one of the reasons that people grow is because they have people to look after, to people to that they want to be like sometimes. And so we thought it's a good idea to bring these amazing musicians from all over the world and create a competition, not as a form of who is best or who is not best, because you can be best this for 5 minutes and the next 5 minutes somebody is best. So, but it's an incentive for people to strive for a higher level of performing. And I have to say that they have worked very well. That's one of the reasons why they sit down 15 minutes after they deplane. So yeah, the competition happens on Sunday, and the performers will perform with the orchestra and they will perform a solo. And the maestros that come from Argentina are going to be the judges of this competition.
And how many awards are given out?
We have 3 finalists, and we have 1 finalist is from San Francisco. We have 1 finalist from Japan, and we have one finalist from Argentina, where Tango was born.
That's great.
Yeah.
And all of this is going to wrap up with what? There's going to be a major event at the end, or a milonga, or a concert. How is it going to conclude?
Yes, there is a. We do a recording on Sunday morning, and we do a recording with the audience, and then we have the competition, and then we have the farewell milonga, where people come and dance socially. And then we have the private party for the musicians. That's on Sunday night.
The cast party, I guess.
It's a lot of chocolate milk involved.
That is great. That is great. How many people do you anticipate participating this year?
Attendees? I don't know.
We have, the passes, the limit is 120 and we're sold out. So that's the amount of dancers that are coming. For the concert, we have 2 shows, so we'll see how many more people come. We still have seats, so we can fit more people.
That's great. That's wonderful. And what's going to happen after this, besides a vacation or something like that? Planning for the next year, or how has this grown over the years? It's kind of grown quite a bit.
It has grown quite a bit, and it grows in the size of the audience. It grows in the level of the performances of the musicians, and it grows also in the way that we, as organizers, we have a more clear system to work things out. So everything becomes easier, it becomes more organized, and so we feel really great this year. And what is going to happen after that? Yes, we sit down and we check everything that we have done and what worked, what didn't work, what are we going to add next year, what we are going to replace next year. But the main thing is that the musicians that came to the festival, they start talking to each other. And throughout the year, you have people that come from all over the world. They go to Japan and they perform together. And they go to Argentina and perform together. We have people from Italy that they get together with a Japanese violin player. People from Korea that get together with other people from other countries, and they form groups. And that's the beauty of the festival, and that was the goal that we had from the beginning of the festival.
That's a lot of networking. It's really important.
It is a place to network personally and musically.
That's great. But you have a lot to do and have done it. You're not only founders or organizers, you're musicians, you're teachers. It's a whole big component to both of you.
Yeah, we try to slowly bring more people in, and it's not easy to bring people in. You have to have people that you trust and people that will add value to the festival. So we find some teachers that will bring something of value to the students every year, and we incorporate them. We find somebody that can do marketing or that can help to organize. So every year we get to know more people, and it gets better and better.
That's great. And it's developed an international reputation, I think, and not just in the United States, because there's just a lot of great enthusiasm, I find, here and in the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Yes, it spreads slowly all over the world.
That's great. Before we're going to adjourn to hear some of the musicians, I'd just like to give you the chance to say something to our audience about the festival and what do you hope to attain. Anything you'd like to tell our viewers?
Well, one thing that I would like to tell our viewers is that the festival happens once a year, and this is your opportunity to come and see. If you haven't seen tango before, it's a great opportunity to see tango, and it's the real thing. It's not something prefabricated. These are the people that lived and breathed tango. And and you have the opportunity to see amazing performers. You have the opportunity to see an orchestra of 35 musicians, 3 couples of dancers. And that happens all on August 17th at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. at Spruce Peak. And you should not miss this opportunity.
That's great. Jason?
Well, Hector summarized it. That's pretty much it.
And the festival orchestra, that is pretty unique in and of itself. I'd just like you to tell us a little bit about that component. That is really amazing that an orchestra is created by, for, and out of this festival here in Vermont.
Yes, and the interesting thing is that we have people that come back every year, so they grow together. And that's the secret of all the best orchestras that were in the golden age of tango. And it's to grow together, to develop a style, to develop what we call the togetherhood. It's knowing predicting what the other one will do. And this orchestra has amazing musicians that if they didn't have the chance to get together for this intense week and from the previous years, it's just amazing musicians. But this becomes a tango orchestra with all the flavor or all the soul of this music from Argentina.
That's great. Well, thank you very much. This is Dennis McMahon for Positively Vermont. My guests today have been Hector Del Corto, the artistic director and founder of the Stowe Tango Music Festival, a bandoneonist, and Jisoo Oak, executive director and also founder of the Stowe Tango Music Festival and a cellist. And now we're going to hear from some members of the Stowe Tango Music Festival Orchestra. Thank you very much, and thank you again.
Thank you, Dennis. We'll see you there.
Exactly.
And now we are going to perform with another of the finalists of the Stowe Tango Music, the Che Bandoneon competition from the Stowe Tango Music Festival. And we yesterday got together and we were just playing around, and we played a milonga called Milonga de Mis Amores. And this is Hitoshi Hiranuma from Japan.